Hello and welcome to the Shallow Proclamation. My name is Paul, and as always, I'm joined by
Thomas.
Brilliant. And we are about to watch the third episode of Inferno. We've had a little gap since last week, so
Yeah.
a week's gap now. Coming back to this, we've been enjoying it so far, though, haven't we?
Yeah, it's good stuff.
This is actually our last seven-parter ever.
Is it?
Yeah. After this, we're only going to get 4s or 6s, unless there's. Some people would say there's a season in Colin Baker era that's one big story, but I think of it really as smaller stories.
A bit like Flux.
Nothing is like Flux. Yeah, so the doctor just vanished at the end here, yeah?
And it took the car as well. That was a good cliffhanger.
Nothing.
So he's kind of ditched them, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's just like, see ya. And Stallman touched the fluid, didn't he?
He did, yes, that's right. Now, I'm not sure at what point in this story that this occurs, but Douglas Camfield was the director. But he actually had a heart attack in the middle of shooting this. And his wife, of course, is playing Petra.
Right.
I think I mentioned that before.
Yes.
And Barry Letts, the producer, stepped in to finish the rest of it. And apparently he said that his Camfield's sort of preparation was so meticulous, he was able to just basically step in and, follow all his directions that he'd already written down.
Wow.
Complete the rest of it. But if some of the cast at some points seem a bit on edge, it's because they think they were quite on edge.
Yeah.
In real life as well. I still can't believe that all this noise in the background is actually in the studio.
Yeah, do you know how they generated it?
I don't actually.
Or
whether it was pre-recorded and it's just a playback, or whether there's something making the noise, I don't know.
Yes. Oh, it's spreading, isn't it?
Pen's leaked.
Tried to cover over the problem.
He's about to do his Michael Jackson impression.
Professor Stallman moonwalks.
It's very Thriller, isn't it? Transforming into a werewolf-like creature.
Yes.
Ding,
ding, ding, ding, ding, ding.
Nice disco ball there.
Yeah. Disco Bob Ball, you're late. That didn't quite work.
Oh, no, I like where you were going with it, though.
Disco Bobulate.
Disco Bobulate. Disco Bobulate. Go for that. Let's go for that.
Yeah, that's what I should have said.
You can edit that out.
Yeah.
Just go straight for the Disco Bobulate. Disco Bobulate.
If I started a club, it would be called Disco Bobulate. And the DJ would be called Bob. And I'd say, Bob, you're late.
Hey.
Hey, Disco Bob, you're late.
You're late.
Sorry. We have stretched that to breaking point, haven't we? Oh.
As is our want.
Yeah.
Doctor's got some gloves on as well.
Yeah. If the Doctor touched the green fluid, do you think it would cause him to regenerate, or would his body not really know what to do with it? It's like, I'm being transformed, but I'm not dying, so...
Yeah, interesting question. Would it kill you?
Because he does get infected by stuff in other... Like, he gets possessed by various things, doesn't he, at various points? Like midnight and stuff, so... Yeah, so it's only really kind of death that kind of brings it on, isn't it?
I knew I'd read something about that poster, Unity of Strength. It said the image used, the person on it, was the designer, Jack Kine.
Ah.
And it was an homage to the 1954 BBC adaptation of 1984.
Right. The George
Where
Orwell.
the face of Big Brother was head of television. Yes, indeed.
You know,
And
George
Kinney,
Orwell...
apparently.
Oh, yeah, go on.
No, go on. You're right.
I was just
He
going to
said,
say...
all's well that ends well.
Is that what you were going to say?
Sorry.
Sorry, I derailed you.
Yeah. Well, that was worth the drive, wasn't it? Oh, he's closing the door. Fair play.
Long distance. He is actually driving, isn't he?
I think so.
Although I'm
Pertwee,
not...
Pertwee's often known as the sort of the very James Bond-esque Doctor.
Yeah.
And I think he did do a lot of his own stunts and things like this, so... Bit of stunt work.
Yeah, that was quite impressive.
Somewhere, I think in this episode, apparently one of the stuntmen actually got hit by the car.
No way.
And was quite badly injured. I think injured his leg quite badly. Jon Pertwee was absolutely mortified that he'd sort of hit this guy.
Oh, bless him.
Apparently he even bought his wife a gift.
Really? Box of chocolates.
Sorry, I ran your husband over.
Is he hiding in a bin? That reminds me of Hartnell coming out of the Dalek in Space Museum.
Very much so.
I am the master.
Jon Pertwee has a very distinctive run and sort of gait when he moves.
Yes, it's a bit of a kind of skip almost, isn't it?
He's definitely got a spring in his step, hasn't he?
Yeah. Is that a fire extinguisher?
Yeah. Because remember, they're really hot.
Oh, of course, yeah. That's quite a good solution. And again, a lot of heights for Pertwee.
I know.
He's probably like, I'm flipping out. When are you going to... How many more staircases are you going to make me run up? Oh, that is a...
Just what... I mean, you just feel like this is happening in the middle of nowhere, don't you?
Yeah.
But some massive... Again, it's that slightly futuristic thing as well, though. Like, a massive industrial zone, almost.
Yeah. Yeah, you could be watching, like, Dawn of the Dead or something at the moment.
Yeah, that's very true. This is great. I mean, this makeup on this guy is really good.
Nice. Throw a stick at him.
Yeah. Now, I think this guy, when he falls here, at the time, this was the largest fall ever done, either on film or on telly.
Wow.
And the guy who shot him is actually the same guy who falls off the roof.
Is he? Well, and he actually did the fall.
He did the fall. Yeah. It was a real fall. Yeah.
Well, I assumed it was like a fake body or something.
No.
That's insane. So massive crash mat, presumably.
I presume. No, he just died.
He just landed on his feet. Oh, what's wrong with her?
Don't you recognize me?
She seems to be under some kind of control.
Brigadier, will you kindly tell me what on...
What the heck?
What on earth are you doing in that...
Oh, something's happened. Wow, this is very interesting. Has he gone to an alternate timeline or something?
Yes, of course.
Where do you come from, Dr. Smith?
This is very intriguing.
This is where we come to the difficult bit.
Well?
I come from a parallel space-time continuum.
Obviously, he's trying to confuse us, leader.
Back to the Future 2 style.
So there's a great story about this scene when the Brigadier turns around with the, or the Brigade Leader turns around with his eye patch on. That apparently, when he turned around, every other member of the cast had an eye patch on as well. But he just carried on.
Wow.
And this was actually inspiration for Stephen Moffat for, is it The Wedding of River Song, the season 6 finale?
Yeah.
You know, when they all have the eye patches?
Oh, yeah, they do, don't they?
And it's inspired by this.
Oh, what a reference.
There's the old designer on this picture in the background again.
Tell me, how far down is the shaft that you were...
Yes.
He is a spy.
And Professor Stowl?
So is this the first mention of parallel universes we've had in the show?
I think it might be, yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting, because we think of the multiverse as like quite a modern storytelling thing. That's interesting to see it sort of goes back further.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been around for a while. There was a TV show I used to watch when I was younger called Sliders, where they would go for a portal. I can't remember who it had in it, apart, like, I don't know if there was anyone famous apart from John Rhys Davies, you know, the guy who played Gimli in Lord of the Rings?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But they would go for a portal, and they would end up in a parallel version of their universe, but they were always trying to get back to their own. And they could never, they're trying to work out, is this our own original one or not? And sometimes it was radically different, like the Nazis won the war or something.
That's interesting.
Has been apprehended, Director.
Yeah, I don't know how long the multiverse hit theory has been around. I guess, yeah, it's an interesting one. That, yeah,
This is great, isn't it? Like having the same cast,
yeah,
but like dressed up differently. He's all shaved.
Benton,
Benton. Oh, Paul, I kid you not. Shortly after we recorded last week, I was just sitting here in my room, and I genuinely heard someone from the street outside shout, "Benton!" It sounded exactly like the guy. I was like, "What the heck
That's
is
so
going on?"
random.
The parallel universe.
It does have that Orwellian feel, doesn't it? Like, I'll report you.
Yes.
As you wish, Director.
So he's wearing the gloves. And in this reality, he has touched it as well.
Yeah, it seems like they're a little further ahead.
Yes. Oh, this is fascinating stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. It's such a neat idea, isn't it?
Yeah. This version of the Brigadier has a real smugness, doesn't he?
Was transmitting danger signals.
Well, it's a great testament to
And what about
the acting, isn't it? That you can have two characters, to take that same character and give them a very different spin
Yeah.
and make it convincing. It's weird to see the Brigadier without a moustache as well.
Yes.
when we know who you are, the real interrogation.
They must have had to plan it carefully when they were filming this.
Well, see, I don't know whether his moustache is a real moustache.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, it probably is.
Right, I'll be there.
Yeah. It looks quite convincing, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, it's very
It
good.
has it.
Caroline John, who plays Liz, I think she said that she really enjoyed playing this version of Liz. She found it to be much more more interesting than playing the normal version.
Normal Liz. This guy reminds me a little bit of Mark Gatiss.
I think you should see for yourself, sir.
Which one?
The
The guy on the
right.
right, Stallman, or the guy on the right?
Guy on the right. This guy. I don't know. Just
really?
the manner.
3 bags full, Director.
No, I can understand something in the jowls.
Yeah, the jowls. That's exactly the word I was looking for. Cheek by jowl. More Venusian karate.
Yeah, looks like it.
You're doing.
Trying to find a particular microcircuit. I may be able to repair your computer for you.
Outside. We've got a firing squad waiting for you.
You idiot! If I don't repair this computer, you'll be...
Are you coming with me quietly? Or do I shoot you here and now?
Whew.
Ooh. Very good. Very good.
So, what do you make of that episode?
Yeah, nice. I really like the alternate timeline little twist there. I realised I made a dumb comment. I was like, "Isn't it quite a new thing to do the multiverse thing?" But obviously, you start like the idea of doing an alternate timeline goes right back, doesn't it? You see it in "It's a Wonderful Life." He's shown like George Bailey has shown like the world in a different, like an alternate timeline type
Yeah,
thing.
it's like a
Yeah, so
parallel universe type thing, isn't it?
exactly. Yeah, and Back to the Future too, and that kind of thing. I guess I kind of think of it as quite a new thing because it feels like it's been overdone a lot in kind of Marvel and DC stuff. Like, did you see The Flash, that film?
I haven't seen it. No, I'd quite like to because it's got Michael Keaton's Batman, hasn't it?
Yeah, so those elements of it were really good. And that was quite cool that they.
And I grew up with that, so that for me, like, yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
But like, No Way Home.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I really enjoyed that. So I think it can be done well, but there's sometimes just a sense of, oh man, is everyone doing the multiverse now? And the problem with
Yeah.
multiverse stories is it's kind of like everything is true, like in one universe or another. So in some universes you're good, in others you're evil, in some you're dead, in others you're alive, and it can kind of cheapen things when it's just
Mm.
like, oh, just go to another universe. But I thought this was well done because it was kind of there's kind of a sense that there's one timeline he should be on, and you really feel the crushing sense of, this isn't right, the way the Brigadier is, it's like that isn't what the Brigadier should be like, sort of thing. And I
Mm.
think that's how they can be done well, if there's a sense of an ultimate timeline you need to return to, rather than just, there are lots of basically identical timelines and we can just, if we die in one, what the heck, just continue in another, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I thought that was really well done and great acting. So yeah, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think the parallel universe thing is brilliant, and it's just a really neat twist to take the characters you've already got and to just sort of flip them, put them in the same setting, but just change things that little bit to create a completely different feel. So the fact that it feels almost like a sort of, almost like a fascistic Nazi state type thing, doesn't it? Or like a Big Brother-esque
Yeah,
state,
the
where you've
firing
got,
squad will be
yeah,
waiting for you.
yeah, the Republic Security Services and all this stuff, and the leader,
Mm,
all that kind of thing. Um, yeah, it's really, and it gives you that sort of sense of, well, I mean, I don't know how much of it was more relevant at the time as well, when you had things like the Soviet Union and those kind of states that existed as well, where people would have, secret police would come and people would disappear and never be seen again, and
yeah,
you know. So, I think it's really, really neat. And then you get the nice thing, like the nice bits, like the Brigadier's, like you say, his character becoming the brigade leader, and he's sort of subtly menacing, in his, there's a quiet menace about him, isn't there, that you sense he would just kill you.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
like at the end when everyone's there's disaster unfolding and he's saying, get back to your posts, we'll shoot you if you don't and stuff,
Mm,
that we're an unswerving desire to follow the rules of the state and enforce the state power regardless. It's quite chilling.
yeah,
So I think
yeah,
that's great. And then also, I mean, I just love all the bits when he arrives, the Doctor, and you've got that nice bit of action again with the car chase, and then the guy falling off the tower. I think is brilliant. I mean, it's a massive drop.
yeah.
I mean, are you able to find it again and just are we able just to watch him drop down? Like, I don't know what it would be. Like, I don't know if you could scroll back to it because it
Oh,
obviously. Oh, that was about there,
I
wasn't
just
it?
saw it. Yeah,
Oh, there it is.
that is mind blowing. Because
I mean,
what would you say? That is at least that's like almost two houses, isn't it?
yeah, it's high.
Yeah, and he is moving his hand. I
I
guess
mean,
I just assumed at this point, that's got to be a dummy. But yeah, you can see him moving.
but you see him go into quite a fall here, like a proper tumble there. Like,
Yeah.
so he goes over, doesn't he, like that to land on his back. You can see him move into that position. So he's obviously, but it's an impressive stunt.
Oh yeah, he properly flips.
He sort of
That
flips
is
himself, doesn't he?
mind blowing.
So presuming that there's a mat just out of sight, or a big inflatable thing, presumably down there.
Yeah, Matt
Yeah,
Smith.
nuts.
Yeah, no, that is quite something. I'm always blown away by the stunt work. Like even the guy just like getting thrown out of the car while it's moving. You sort of think
Mm.
that would be quite scary to do, wouldn't it?
Well, I think there's something about real stunts that there's a weightiness to them that it's hard to replicate, isn't it? Sometimes in CGI, they're getting a lot better over time, aren't they?
Yeah,
Um, but yeah,
like
here
even
you're in no
this
doubt that
stuff.
these guys are just in a car driving and doing what they're doing, aren't they?
Yeah, and like
Um,
he lands on the hay, but like that's not slow. He's just like,
no, I know there's a very excellent stunt in I think the first story of the next season,
yeah.
which is absolutely mind-boggling, quite frankly. So I look forward to us seeing that. Yeah, but I think it's another strong one, isn't it? Another strong episode here.
Yeah, it really
yeah.
kept the pace up and spun the plot in a whole new direction.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we should probably wrap up. Guys, let us know what you think of this one. Put your comments down below. Do give the channel a subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video, that helps it get out there. We're on the final story of season 7 now. We've still got sort of 5 episodes, or we've got 4 more after this, I think. But we'll be getting near the end of the season, so for our end of season review, we tend to do a live show. So do put comments and questions you'd like us to answer about the season as a whole down there in the comments. Let us know it's for that if you do. Or join us on our Discord server, which you can find the link for in our description for the video. We have more chat over there, and you can post your comments and questions there too. And we've also been talking a little bit about a possible Patreon type thing. And we're just wondering, is that something there's a bit of an appetite for? If so, what would people like to see? What things can we offer you? And we will do our best to provide what we can give you.
We may not be able to grant every request. Or certain requests, I should say.
No. Probably not, knowing the internet.
Yeah. No, great.
Brilliant. Well, join us again soon, and we'll be back for episode 4. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.